Wow, that's deep. Wow, we're getting real deep on this episode. I'm good for this. I am here for it.
We gotta get in touch with ourselves today.
Yes, yes. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode at home with Tea with Shira. I think we're going to rename it. Anyways, today we are joined by the one and only Toni, crochet designer and educator, also known as TL Yarn Crafts. Hello, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. How are you?
Good, good. By the way, so Toni has come on the She Show. She came on the She Show during the summertime. And one of the things that I really love about you is your smile.
Oh, thank you.
I really do, because right now, because we don't have that ability to like meet people in person and have that energy between someone, your smile is seriously one of the most warming things that, look at the, hello, can you not see that? She's like, stop it.
Oh, girl, you don't make me blush.
No, having you on Tea with Shira is important because you were supposed to come on because you are a new part of our Lion Brand family blogger. Fam. I love the different kits that you've been coming out with. And that, what is it? The Bright Side Afghan?
The Bright Side Blanket.
Bright Side Blanket. I love that so much because it really embodies everything that is now. I think that is such a beautiful addition to our crafty world. So definitely go check out the Bright Side. But you're really here to talk about something else, amongst other things. You're here to talk about another awesome kit that you are working on. Tell us about that, or that's coming out today.
My brand new kit is called the Tunisian Holiday Sampler. It's a beast. She's a big old thing. So I'm gonna try and open this as delicately as possible so I don't hit myself in the face.
Oh wow!
Going on here. It's all Tunisian crochet.
Wow.
And it's made with Pound of Love. I wanted to keep it economical, but still, I wanted it to look great, kind of have that signature TL Yarn Craft style to it. So yeah, I just pulled together some grays and this pretty taupe color and this nice kind of sea foamy green.
That is
fun with it.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
I feel like if my mom was watching, not if, she will be watching this episode, she would ask, what's Tunisian crochet?
Oh, my favorite question. I could go on about this forever. So Tunisian crochet, I like to think of as a happy medium between knitting and crochet. So it's like crochet in that you have a hook on the end of your tool, but it's like knitting because you work with a long Tunisian crochet hook or even a corded Tunisian crochet hook. Because essentially you're going to go through and pick up loops on what's called the forward pass and then work those loops off on the return pass. And that's how you build your rows in those two parts. And I love it because I came to yarn crafts through crochet. Knitting was just never stuck for me. And also I'm just such a slow knitter and such a fast crocheter. So I was like, I'll just crochet everything. Right. So when I finally kind of got my claws into Tunisian crochet, I was like, this feels like a good mix. So I'll just do more of this and then maybe I can get off the hook from actually learning to knit.
You'll just hang out here.
Yeah, not my thing.
No, I totally understand that. I mean, crocheting is nice, but I definitely knit faster than I crochet, so I totally understand that.
We all have our preferences, and I think, once we can all just can agree that it's fine that we do whatever it is that we do. Like, sometimes I feel like there's this whole conversation about, like, which is better, but it's like, why does one have to be better? I'm just grateful that both exist,
100%. And I think that the cool thing is you can do so many different things with both.
When I talk about Tunisian crochet, especially for knitters, I like to say that kind of the learning curve for Tunisian it's a lot less steep than to jump straight from knitting to crochet, because those are just such different crafts. But going from knitting to Tunisian crochet probably will just feel a little bit more natural. So if there are makers out there who knit and want to try something crochet related, I think Tunisian crochet is like the perfect fit.
So tell us more about the beast that is within your hands right now. Like, where did the name, like the concept of the, like, tell us a little bit more. Let's break that down. Let's unpack that.
Well, I really love to teach. I love to tell people more about Tunisian crochet. They might not know anything about it. So I wanted to use it as a teaching opportunity. So what we've got going on here there are 20 different squares that use completely different stitches or techniques. So for example, this square is using cross stitch. This square is using what's called the Tunisian full stitch. This one, oh, I'm gonna show you my absolute favorite one. Cables. You see that?
Yeah.
I love it. It's so pretty. So each square teaches a different technique or stitch, and then ultimately they all end up being about the same size. You block them to size, join them together, put on the border. So by the end of it, not only do you have all of these new tools and stitches in your toolkit, but you also have this really beautiful blanket. And honestly, at this point, I can't stop using it. Like, I've taken the photos, I've written the pattern, everything's done. So now I can finally use it for myself, and I'm obsessed with it, obsessed.
One of the things that I wanted to highlight that I actually brought up in She Show today, because this is pre-recorded, you as a designer, one of the things that you love so much is when people take your designs and do something completely different with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that just makes my heart sing, because I'm like, you're using the pattern exactly how I intended it to be. Like, when people kind of take this template and maybe they change the yarn weight, or they get really crazy with the colors, or they just pick one color, and I'm like, I didn't even think about that. You know, like, I love being surprised by the way that people interpret my pattern. So like, stepping outside of the box, it excites me. It really makes me feel like I've taught you something, or I've given you this tool for you to now interpret how you want to. And I feel like that's what takes us out of the realm of just makers to actual creators.
I think that it's also kind of realizing that it doesn't just have to be what you think it is, like what it should be. And sometimes when you like least expect it, you almost surprise yourself.
I feel like that's the excitement of being able to make something from scratch. Is like, you can totally let yourself get carried away by the creativity and not feel like everything is so rigid, because if you don't love it, rip it out, start it over, like just redo it. You know, nothing has to be so permanent. So you can really, you have that room to play and experiment and have some fun. And it's like, you know, by the end of it, that journey, that experience is just as gratifying as that finished piece. And I feel like making should always feel like that.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. And Toni, before we leave, where can they follow you?
So people can follow me at TL Yarn Crafts on pretty much any platform: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, and they can also find me on tlycblog.com.
Beautiful. All that information will be in the description below. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And Toni, you have a question for our viewers.
I do. So we talked a little bit today about getting lost in the creative process. So I would love to know, what is the last project that you 100% let yourself get sucked into?
This is intense. This is like a really deep conversation, and I'm so excited to see what you guys say in the comments.
I can't wait to read them.
Remember, leave your answer in the comments and we will be looking for that. And I am so appreciative of Toni for joining me today. Thank you so much, Toni. And thank you to all of you out there for joining us for another great episode. And thanks again. Bye, everybody. I want you all to know that I did not let her know that I was going to ask that.
She did not. Oh my goodness.
No, this is what the Tea with Shira is all about. It's real talk. We spilled the tea here, okay?